There we go, USB.
Excellent. Okay, and we are live. There we go with Writing Sprint Wednesdays with your hosts, Abby and myself, or should I say the birthday girl and myself. Happy
Hey,
birthday, Abby.
thank you.
We have a handful of folks already chatting here. So hello to Elena, hello to NJ, hello JM, hello Erica. I echo NJ's question here. What's everyone working on today? Abby, what are you working on this glorious birthday of yours?
So I actually did a lot of work over the weekend. My co-author Jeff and I went through our outline and we added a bunch of stuff. And so now my job this week was to go through and make sure it all makes sense. All the things that we added, like actually, do something to move the story forward. So I'm actually going to pull up my outline. I'm about halfway through. So I'm going to
Excellent.
keep combing. What about you?
I am
Since you got to
in
the end.
Yeah, I got to the end and I took a couple days off of writing, but now it's like, okay, Doug, always be writing, no 0 days. Let's go. You got stuff to do if you want to reach your dreams. So I'm going to be working on my horror novel. And so this horror novel that I'm working on, I actually started early pandemic, so like 2020, I guess. Oh
When
my
it was a horror.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, and I have since, I've revamped it. I want to do a better outline, but I also want to write alongside everyone else. So I'm going to tackle rewriting the first chapter from scratch. Like I've changed who my main character is. I've changed what her job is, and yeah. So I want to do a fresh opening based off of that. It might change later, but who knows?
Do you know that's how I revised my first novel? Was I
No.
read it and then I went back and rewrote it from memory,
Oh, wow.
which was
Whew.
hard. But
Yeah.
also, I mean, it made some great changes because I wasn't
Yeah.
married to what I had already written.
Yeah.
But it did make for a longer rewrite.
Yeah, no doubt. All
I'm
right.
just being honest.
I want to turn the chat here. Say hello to B, Ginger, Hank's hanging out in the chat with us. Erica has no idea what you're writing today. Monica.
Do you know how much I love this? A dragon turned cat.
It would have the same personality. If anything, it would get more fierce. Um, JM's working on a new project. Will you give yourself a break from the absurd project after finishing the first draft? Great job, JM. Hi, Emily. Weaver Words, hello, hello. All right, and Shelly's in here as well. Emily said, have a lovely birthday, Abby. Hello, Aaron. And Elena, a new little project about a British boy who is studying at UCLA and falls in love with an American guy. There's a 5-year age gap between them. Spicy. All right, we have, how much time do we have until, we have a minute and a half. I've shared the link in the chat there, but it is also below us. All three of the links are below us. And I'll quickly add this to the stage here. So you can see on the top left here, you click that, it will open up link number 2 or
You're
sprint
going to
number
have
2.
to show me that.
Yeah,
Secret
we
trick.
can do that right after this show. I'll
Yeah.
show you how to do that. It's a lot easier than it seems, I promise. And today I've decided, since I'm writing a horror novel, I've put on this dark ambient horror music lo-fi playlist. No idea what it's going to be like, but we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, you know what's so funny is because I don't listen to music while I write, but I do listen to it in the car, and I do playlists that actually correspond to my book. So like it kind of keeps the vibe going as I drive. And I keep thinking, oh, I should totally put that in our like chat in the community where you put your
Yeah,
playlists. I should
absolutely.
write out my actual playlist because it's pretty fun. Little Beastie Boys in it, a little ELO. Yeah, it's a nice little mix. So
We just had someone in we had Jerry in the Word Sprint chat ask for the YouTube link. So I sent that over there. I'm going to pop this up on screen here.
here we go.
I'm aiming for a lot less words than usual, so have mercy on me today, folks.
Bye, everybody.
See you in 20 minutes. All righty, that is our first sprint over. Oh, let me pause my music here. Abby, how'd you do?
I
Make sure
can't.
there
I
you go.
can't
Oh,
unmute.
you can. All right, it's just Doug talking for the next little bit. The trials of working from home. I get it. Let me see. I actually got 820 words written, which is crazy. Like I was not expecting that, but it's just kind of going. Some of them are like, Sometimes I put brackets need description or hospital name because one of the things that I changed in this rewrite that I'm doing or like fresh write is I'm taking it from like a smaller city into a more remote town. I want to really amp up the isolation and take away some amenities that you might find in a larger community. So that's what I want to do for this one. So still some kinks to iron out. But let's see how folks did here. NJ saying Apollo's attempting to sing to all of us the song of his people. Apollo being NJ's husky puppy that you just got. Awesome. Athena, welcome, welcome. B got 662. Fantastic. Shelly 443. Aaron 210 words in one page edited. Erica got 259 only, but I'm working through the elements of an important area, and 259 is not an only, especially when you're doing something so important. Weaver is mostly editing and adding some better dialogue. That's fantastic. And that's what I have to remind myself and remind anyone who's sprinting with us that everything, like you can improve everything later, right? It might be a not great verbiage that you choose or like not the strongest words, but you can always fix it up later. Before I read over some of the other comments, I'm posting the link to the second sprint in there. But again, you can find it hyperlinked at the top left of the first sprint. And now to get to the third one, you can find it top left of the second sprint. David got 298. Fantastic. David, are we still typing on our phone or are we typing on a keyboard? MedFit Culture, welcome. Yeah, 364 first sprint in a while. I'm glad you could join us. Yeah, we haven't seen you in a
Nice.
little bit.
So you mean, Doug, you just put brackets in and just put a little note and you didn't just allow that to stop you from like
Absolutely not.
moving forward and becoming a stall? Like a
I feel like you're
research
trying
bit?
to emphasize something here, but yeah, but hospital
Something
name.
that someone else may do?
Need some description, right? The whole point of sprints is that they enable you to use your momentum, right? In a normal 20-minute bout of writing, if I wasn't constantly writing, I wouldn't be able to do 820 words. But if I don't let things like that kind of create this big bump in the road, then I can just keep going. That's yes, okay, we got 2 minutes here. What else we got here? Kara's gonna start in the next sprint. You were eating lunch, not the best chili, but a good way to use up leftover turkey and wrangling a sneezing fit. Well, yes, well, join us for the next one for sure. JM got 524, Elena 293, Emily 258. Not sure what you're writing about yet, but trying myself at another story. Fantastic. That's the other thing too. Not everything you write needs to be published one day, right? Like you can just write to explore things. You can write to practice. You can write for fun. Oh, God forbid we write for fun. Ginger's still doing the first read through of your nano manuscript, which has increased in word count. That happens. David's typing on a keyboard today. Fantastic. How much time do we have? We have a minute. That's fine. B is trying to tell a story told to me by a cat in a journal being read by yet someone else. Tenses are killing me. Yeah, no doubt. NJ, trying to decide whether to spell out the dialogue or describe the gist of it. How do you fix flat dialogue? That is a question that requires an answer that is longer than less than a minute. But perhaps, Abby, since I love thinking of things to post in the community and getting you to post them instead, maybe we can come up with something in the Swordcraft Cafe about fixing flat dialogue, because we do have a workshop that we can leverage. We have Dabble articles. You can find a link to one of those articles once we are done the sprint here. But we have 15 seconds until we start. Yeah. So, David, I'm continuing to write for the Romance Challenge. Awesome. I hope that's going well. All right. 20 minutes starting up. Everyone, enjoy your writing. We will see you in 20. right. That is our second sprint over with. Let me make our faces bigger there and pause my haunting, dark ambient bracket horror music bracket lo-fi. How'd that go for you?
Good. I ended up doing a lot of reading, and I mean, it's looking pretty solid to me. So I'm not really adding or subtracting. It's kind of
Awesome.
gratifying. So, how about you? What was your word count?
687 for that one.
And
Yeah, and we're about to I need to look at this from like a structural perspective because we have like there's the inciting incident of this story, but then there's the incidents that are going to happen in this first chapter that kind of introduces us to the horror aspect of it. And I want to make sure that that's actually the appropriate place to put it and that I'm not putting it in too early. But I'm also a very big fan of like in medias res and, kicking off with action and whatnot. So I don't know. We'll
our
see.
horror books, they're scary the whole time. It's not like they just throw the twist at the end or
There are like peaks and valleys in it. You need kind of like if you're writing action or if you're writing comedy or something, like you need time for the reader to digest and to have a little like a break almost. But there should, in my opinion, at least be like this kind of sense of dread that runs through the whole thing. Right. So even when it's relaxing, it's like, okay, it's relaxing, but only to a certain extent.
Is it kind of like, so I love it when you're writing comedy and you have a setup and the reader doesn't necessarily know it's a setup, and then when you deliver the payoff and it's really funny, like it's so satisfying because you sort of like you're a little taken aback by the joke, but it's you don't know necessarily that it's coming. So I guess I don't know, maybe you're doing the same thing, only it's coming with horror. Like you're kind of reading the clues and it makes you feel uneasy, and then all of a sudden it's like jump scare. That's how I'm
Well,
imagining it.
that's how I imagined it at first. Like years ago now, right? Like I started writing this, like I said, 5 years ago. But no, that works in movies because you
Okay.
have that visual medium.
Yep.
In written format, jump scares either don't work or they feel really cheap,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So there will be moments that are more terrifying than others where you amp up something and it is scarier, but you want this general feeling of discomfort most of the time. I think one of the best pieces of advice that I got, and let me make sure that we have time here. We have 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
One of the best pieces of advice that I ever read for horror is that the whole idea is that you take one particular thing and you make it unnatural. And that's kind of your basis for the whole movie or not movie show, like show, book, whatever.
Movie in
Right?
your head.
Yeah, well, that's how I picture it a lot of times too, right? So you take that one element, you make it unnatural, and then you kind of build around that, and how does it affect their lives? So yeah, it's more that, less jump scares.
I'm so sorry that I will not be offering to beta read this for you, because I'm the person who, when I first watched that movie, Cape Fear, I think it took me 3 years to stop looking underneath my car before I got in it, because I was convinced there was going to be someone under it waiting to like slash my ankles. I think it's all in real life by the time I finish. So
Well,
yeah,
that's good. That's
you'll
effective
freak
horror,
me out. You'll freak
Yeah.
me out is all I'm saying. It's guaranteed. So how did everybody do over here? Oh, I
We
didn't mean to
got
shift.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I did want to turn over here. Just saying, my wife also will not read my horror work,
Oh,
so.
there we go. I'm with her.
um, So yeah, Medfit 264, B 648, Elena 385, JM 483. Awesome. We have great progress here, everybody. And it's awesome advice about fixing dialogue. Oh, I said I would get a link. I'll get that afterwards, but we'll post something in the community. Ashley saying here, all beta, I love horror. Yeah, maybe I will post something in the Storycraft Cafe. It's a long time out before it's ready for beta reading, right? But yeah, I think that's a good place to go. I think Starcraft Cafe could be an awesome place for finding beta readers.
Yeah.
All right, man, these breaks just fly by. We have 10 seconds.
Woo. All right.
And there we go. Oh no.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck. All righty. That is our third sprint of the day. All done. There we go. Abby, how'd it go?
I actually came up with a pretty fantastic twist to add
Excellent.
in that I hadn't really thought about yet. But once I did, I was like, I got this.
I love those moments.
How about you?
Excellent. Yeah. There's again had a little square bracket moment where I typed out my main character. I switched her from a nurse to a coroner in this change, and I put need some coroner report speak here at the beginning of the scene. That does require some research, right? And I always find those kinds of things like I think I know what they're gonna say, but that's always informed by TV
Yeah.
and movies and stuff, right? And you want to be
Which,
able
how
to
real is that, right?
exactly. No, one of the things when I co-authored last year or 2 years ago now, we have a coroner in it, and the co-author I was working with, he's like, I actually went to the morgue, to the coroner's office, to get a like feel for what it's actually like, because in movies it's like clean and it's sterile and it's organized and whatnot. It's like it's nothing like that. It smells
Really?
horrible. It's a mess. It's stained. Like, I don't want to get too grotesque, right? We aren't here for for some grotesquerie, but anyway, let's see how folks did here. Let's see. Let me scroll up. Star got 143. Today's just chaos. Well, Star, I hope tomorrow's sprints are better because we're back here at 12:30 tomorrow. B got 551, Athena 561, JM 555. Very tight spread there between the three of you. 518 for MedFit Culture, got on a roll finally. Excellent. Ashley got 459 total for today. Not a great day, but you only came for the last one, and you still got 459 more words than you got if you didn't show up. Athena just reached a tension point, which is excellent. B, yes, me. Does anyone else have issues with coming up with names for people? I honestly, one of the things that I found that I do, I'll come up with like a 3-word name. Like I just introduced a police officer. His name's Ben. It might not be Ben, but I go with something simple and short unless I'm being intentional about it, and I'll just change it later. Right. So I don't know. Abby, do you have any issues coming up with names for people?
No, so like we're talking about these short stories that Hank's going to have everybody write in March. So I've been thinking about what to name those characters. But the great thing about that is I know it has to take place in the 80s. So I might have Googled what the Social Security Administration top names were for people born in 1969, because I know my character wants to be 16 in 1985. So,
Okay.
and then I used that as like sort of my jumping off point. But I mean, that's kind of for, I don't want to say historical fiction because I grew up in the 80s, but
Listen, if you write something about like 2020, it's historical fiction. So don't feel
feels
bad.
like it. Hey, did you see Ashley has a roommate that is, mortuary tech? There you go.
Postmortems, yeah. That's actually we're finding so much unique stuff about you these days. It's very interesting. I used to work in, or for a month or two during a summer in between school, I worked in a slaughterhouse cutting the same piece of meat that came down a conveyor line. It was awful. I didn't make it the whole summer. But it's funny because you look at things like that and you can pull very unique details from your own experiences or from the experiences of others. So like I can remember the smell of working in there and the smell of meat. I got this weird rash where like the fat accumulated at the base of my glove.
Oh,
Like there's
God.
little things that and like I couldn't wear like the shoes that I wore there. I had to burn after, right?
Oh,
So,
God.
yeah.
My first job was in a library, so it couldn't be any more different than that. So
All right. B saying today's total word count 1861. I got a
nice.
nice 2,200 words today, which is excellent.
Nice.
Anything you want to say before we bid these fine folks adieu?
No, I think everybody should go to the community though and read the post that Hank put up about John Prine. It was awesome. He and I were talking about John Prine off camera yesterday. and it sparked this post, and I was like, dang, it was a good post. So go see what Hank had to say. He's not here, so if you need a daily dose of Hank, there is one waiting for you in the community.
And we do have, I am going to shout out a couple events coming up that y'all might be interested in. As always, on Thursdays, well, Tuesdays through Thursdays now. Tomorrow we have more writing sprints at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Then shortly after that, for premium folks, we do have our office hours tomorrow at 2. On Friday, Hank is talking to Lindsay Curry, and that's for middle grade supernatural mysteries. And as someone, listen, I have like a soft spot for things like CW shows, like Vampire Diaries and whatnot. And there's like this Nancy Drew show that I think I'm behind on a season on, but I'm absolutely obsessed with it. So, and it's, supernatural mystery. Yes, there's that on Friday at 2 p.m. and then 10 a.m. on Monday. Laugh Out Loud Crime Fiction with Jesse Q. Sutanto. And then we have a fireside chat at 2 p.m. on Monday as well, where we're talking about why we write, personally, and why people,
bring
in
your
general,
tissues.
might want to write.
Look, I got mine. Just sit right here, always at the ready, because I'm a big crier. So yeah, come prepared.
Yeah. All right. Well, awesome. With that, we will sign off. We will hopefully see you tomorrow or in the future at one of our other events. Thank you all for your words today and for your support of us and of each other. And have a fantastic day.
Bye, everybody.